Hi everybody and welcome back. In the last lecture we looked at the title method, which allowed us to capitalize the first letter of any string or any word. So as we know, a method is an action that Python can perform on any piece of data. So in this lecture we're going to look at Python's find method. So again, we're still going to stay with strings, so let's just enter in a string here, and we start off with our opening and our closing quotes. So this string I'm going to enter is my favorite book is single quote, because I want to emphasize the book name, Elon Musk. And if you haven't read it, give it a go. It really is an excellent and a quick read. So here we have our string. So let's just say again we have a program and it might have a search bar in it or a search function within it, and we want to find where book is within our string, or we might want to find where the word favorite is within our string. What we can do here is we can assign this first a variable. So let's just say my book equals. So now we have our variable on the left hand side and we have our value, which is a string, on our right. And what we do here now is we attach the .find method. Okay, seems simple enough, but we have to tell it what we want to find. We just have empty brackets, and as we said later in the last lecture, brackets are where you can place information of what you want the find method to do, or any method to do. So in this instance we want to find book, B-O-O-K. Okay, so there we go. So let's see what this does for us here. And to get the information out to the screen, we have print my book. And let's run that. Perfect. So there, now down here in the left hand side we can see that we got a return of 12. And why 12? Why not the actual word book? Well, obviously we need to first find where book is within our string. So here we have my favorite book. So what the 12 refers to is the position within our string where the word book starts. So when Python counts, it doesn't count 1, 2, 3, 4. Instead, it starts at 0. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. And the reason Python starts at 0 is because and any other computer language actually for that matter will start at 0, is because it allows you to count backwards. So 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, and so on. So you have that flexibility to go forwards into positive numbers or backwards into negative numbers. So here we have here my favorite book, and if you were to count out, you would see that B, which is the start of book, starts at position, or as it's known in programming languages, the index 12, and that's where book starts. So equally we could change this and we could say, instead of book, we could say Elon. And we can run this again and we get position 21, or index 21, position at index 21. Okay, so how can this find method be used in the real world? Well, as I mentioned at the start, imagine this was a search program and you wanted to type in find Elon. It would be able to give you back what position Elon is in, how many times Elon was mentioned in the search parameters, or whatever you might be. There are plenty of ways to expand on this excellent little method. Now equally, if you had a program, and it was, going back to our other example, an email program, you could have a spam filter. So what you could make your program do is find characters that are associated with spam. So we could have subject as our variable equals, and then the title of our email, let's just say, is get rich now. So I'm sure we've all got these kind of emails, and we could have .find print subject, and let's see, Command and B, and there we go. And this is interesting, we got a value back of 0, and as I just said, Python starts its counting at 0 and then it goes 1, 2, 3. So what this output is telling us is that it found our search of $3 in the very beginning of our string. So here we are, so here it is here. And what we could do later on is we could refine our email program to remove any messages that it picks up as spam, which is the $3 in this example. So that's a quick example of the find method. And as always, as we've seen in our last lecture, the find method starts with .find brackets, and inside the brackets is the argument that you want to pass, or the information that you want to pass into Python for the method to act upon. So I hope that made sense. If not, please shoot me a question on the Q&A section and give the activities a go at the end of this section. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next lecture.